Hey everyone, and welcome back to the channel. Real quick, if you found this video helpful, don't forget to leave a like, comment, and subscribe. Thank you guys again so much for watching. Every little bit helps the channel, and I really appreciate it. So today I'm putting together a new video why the new Octane jump pad update is literally a game changer in Apex Legends. In my prior guide, I discussed how Octane was just missing that edge and to push to be meta, really. While he was a fan favorite, he definitely lacked in a few departments. Well, honestly, after this adjustment, he's going to be a fun force to be reckoned with. This change overall gives more height, speed, and versatility that I really want to highlight and give a strong comparison for you guys to make a really positive adjustment to your gameplay. His viability shoots right up and provides versatility comparable to Pathfinder, which I'm going to highlight in this video as well. Who knows, maybe we'll see him competitive. That will definitely be exciting. If that's the case, could be a long shot, but I'm definitely praying and being hopeful. So again, you can walk normally and gain more vertical height because the speed gain gives him a quick out. And also because how low the cooldown is makes it very scary and going to see players bouncing around as if this was a bounce house as they ape you. I had to make a video on this and hope this change is positive enough for everyone to reconsider Octane just as I have. Let us begin with the first comparison. Let's take a look at the old jump pad distance. Now let us look at the new distance. I mean, for some, this may not seem like a big difference, but honestly, when you're in the heat of the moment in game, this is pretty big. This is a big difference. Now, what I want to do is highlight just his normal jumping distance. Here's the before. Now, here's the after. Of course, this is just him walking into the jump pad. Now, to highlight the speed difference because of the height change, I want to do a quick race with Pathfinder. This is the before. And this is after. So now, this is obviously starting them at the same exact time. Now, what I'm going to do now, before we talk about this breakdown even further, what I want to showcase is having Pathfinder have just a slight edge over Octane. I'm literally going to be behind him. So as you can see, the Pathfinder's crazy verticality that is strong and if not better alternative to Pathfinder because he's beating him in some cases in terms of the race. Now of course if you got a little more distance and Octane is going to be on the ground along with his teammates, but still it provides that strong suit because if anybody's on the zip line that long trying to go into rotation or ape, they may not make it. So let's break down some of those big differences and let's talk about them. Pathfinder's zip is static and goes in one direction. You can bounce, but after a few times you fall, and this is due to the nerfs and removes his ability to dodge effectively. Number 2, Pathfinder has low profile, Octane does not. Number 3, Octane has a speed boost and a passive heal. Note, yes, Pathfinder has way better verticality and mobility with his Q, but timing and proficiency is really key, and again, that's more for his own sake. Put this into perspective, his cooldown can have a max 30-second cooldown, while Octane jump pad can come off every 60 seconds and can be utilized by the whole team. And finally, when pushing a team, his jump pad with a new height and speed provides so many different angles, options for when a team makes a fun aggressive push. Now, I mentioned before, my prior mains have been Horizon, Watson, and Pathfinder. So I had less playtime in Octane, but we were able to obviously put together a well-comprehensive guide in the past. But yesterday, I hopped in and we already got a 15 kill game with them within a few tries. We maximized on his jump pad and I'm going to break down some of those moments and then just for fun, showcase when we fried some teams. So now let's get into the gameplay and I'm going to highlight my mistakes, other teams' mistakes, and things I could have done better in some moments, just to kind of give you a nice guide into Octane and hopefully better your gameplay. So let's get into that. So obviously the clip that you just saw was definitely usage with the Spitfire, and just, I guess, helpful tip here, just a reminder to try to recoup and recover as fast as possible. The plus side, he's got a passive stim that can heal him, Swift Mend. So this next clip, what you're looking at here is me pushing to the forefront, obviously using my stim to kind of get into the fight. I do not use my stim at all later in the fight whatsoever, just because I know I will be low. What I'm going to do here is I realize that I probably should go for a swap. I should have not healed here. Just wait for the swap because I just wasted time in that gunfight. So a little tip there. So as Octane, you're most likely going to be the first one into the fight. And again, I will not be stimming here in the encounter again just to avoid taking any extra damage. I go for the revive, I hear an enemy, and I go for a swap and I try to reposition. I do have my jump pad, I did consider it, but realizing where he was in the smoke, I realized I had to take pretty much a 1v1 and try to get into the fight and help. Luckily, get the spray off here, pretty clean cleanup, go for the res, and now we're at 7 kills and we continue onwards with the round. Now in this situation, I utilize a jump pad. We heard enemy gunfire from a distance and I use this to get into the fight much faster, especially when I heard that I see knocks are occurring, see people fighting. So obviously the enemy is using a jump pad here to get out of position. Just remember whenever you are using the jump pad, even though it is buffed and a lot nicer, that you're at great risk. Big risk being out in the open, so as you saw, the Revenant definitely took a massive hit there. So the Spitfire is overpowered, so I was definitely abusing it this round just to kind of test it, and it's really, really strong. So every time I'm in rotation, I'm trying to kind of recover the mag. He goes for the res, uses smoke. Chicken Man's a boss, and so is James. So all I'm doing right here is just pretty much covering. All I'm doing is just selling up, repositioning, just making sure that they can recover from this situation overall. Take a few hits from a distance. I decide to go for the armor swap. They're using the 30-30, which is a great gun, and I ping some armor from my teammates here. Go for some early shots. I notice my jump pad is up. We're trying to figure out a way to close the gap here. Either waiting for some pick damage, waiting to get in, but we're each taking some heavy damage from the 30-30 repeater or whatever sniper they're using. So we finally say, you know what, he pops his ult. I say, you know what, here's a jump pad. We make sure we top off, and then we go in. So the great part, as we're talking about before in the video, is that if you're taking the jump pad, unlike a Pathfinder Zip, notice how we were at different angles and we're way harder to hit. That last guy, as you saw, was having a hard time shooting us as we both came in. So he went up high, I came in from the building, taking a different angle, trying to flank here. I realized there's nobody there. Notice that he's fighting outside. I could have stemmed here because I was at full HP, but I didn't feel it was necessary in that moment. And we clutch out that. They go inside the building. I try to identify who is the one shooting, hit him a few times. I'm taking the off ankle, waiting for the guy to make a mistake. They win the fight 2v1. GG's on that front. Clean, clean, clean. Very, very nice. So what we're going to do now, I'm going to segue a little further. So the jump pad is obviously massively beneficial. So there was somebody running away from us from a prior gunfight, and we're just trying to catch up to him. I have no idea where this individual went. He left way early on. I use a jump pad again here, but notice I forget how buffed the jump pad got and instantly hit the top. And I even call myself out and I say, GG's, didn't even realize that. I stim to try to catch up just to make sure if he gets in a gunfight that I'm present with them. So that's the beauty of using the stim. You want to use it to catch up, to reposition, to reorganize where you're at. So that's a big tip there, especially whenever you're trying to catch up with a teammate. So I pop it twice, I wait for myself to top off, and I'm going to segue a little further here in the gameplay once we get into an encounter. So obviously I continue to stim to get forward. Massive gunfight here, we're trying to reposition. I notice my jump pad came up. Get into a gunfight with a Mastiff. I whiff a little bit, but luckily clutch it out. I go for the armor swap just because I know there was a third party, and there is the Fuse popping his tactical ability. So the idea here is just to top off. I realize once to top off, I got to push to the forefront to cover because I need for them to heal, and I put the jump pad at the door. So it becomes like a little bouncy house. Get the angles, get the positioning, get the benefits, and I top off with a full heal. I do consider I should go back for my armor, but at this point, because I hear gunfights, I advise against it, and I just pick up extra cells, and we pretty much get right back into the fight. This Caustic and the Fuse obviously both throw their ult. It was a very strong ult. I unfortunately took fire damage here initially and get cracked. If I had my jump pad, I could easily have utilized it to get out of the situation. I swap armors, and I have no choice but to wait to get out of the situation. I could have climbed the wall, but I didn't want to leave my teammate, so I just kind of chill and wait for an opportune moment. So the fire dissipates, and then we clean up the overall fight, and we get to finally push in. Chicken Man goes in like a boss, and so does James, and we segue. So as you're healing and rotating, use your jump pad. You see I slide, and use it as momentum to heal. Realize how I caught up and healed at the same time. This is great to use for bunny hopping and so forth. So at the end of the round here, I take a look and I said, there's the enemy. We're flying in. We realized that they were separated. He's got wide armor. I'm feeling very confident in this situation. Realistically, you really shouldn't jump down in equal footing, but when you know you have such a massive advantage, not a bad thing to do. So I stim up to go help my friends in their situation because I know they're fighting. I don't know the exact situations of 2v1 and so forth, so we just make sure to catch them out. And now I'm right with my teammate. He clutches it out there. Chicken May makes a call out and says, here he's at. I said, I got my jump pad. I'm going to come in. Again, the reason why I obviously messed up there was because I ran out of mouse pad, and so I didn't clutch out that insane clip. But yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. Hopefully you guys enjoy the content. Don't forget to leave a like, comment, subscribe. Really breaking down the gameplay. Plan on doing this for future videos. You guys give the feedback, and hopefully it helps you guys out. Thanks again, everyone.